Today, we're recapping the fantasy comedy movie It's a Boy-Girl Thing. Spoilers ahead. Nell Bedworth reads Shakespeare in her room. Her peaceful quiet is disrupted by Woody Dean, the varsity player next door who loves hip-hop and partying. She demands that he turns the music down, but he refuses to turn it off unless she flashes him. Nell refuses, but accidentally flashes him when her shirt gets trapped in the window. The following day, Nell receives a letter from Yale confirming that she has an interview next week. Her parents show complete faith in her because she's never once let them down. In Woody's house, his parents discuss the possibility of Woody getting scouted by a college football team. If he did land it, he would be the first member of the family to attend college. But if it doesn't work out, his father promises a job with him at Spatula World, something Woody doesn't want to imagine. Nell misses the school bus and is forced to walk to school, while the very popular Woody gets a ride with his friend, Horse. Spotting Nell walking alone, Woody and Horse drive through a large puddle of water, thoroughly soaking her. The water makes Nell's hair puff up, making her a laughingstock at school. Nell and Woody get into another public spat, with Nell mocking the inevitably meaningless failure of a life Woody and his girlfriend Brianna will eventually have. Woody sabotages Nell's on-screen study materials in class, replacing a legitimate Aztec research source with pornography. The class visits a museum on a field trip, exploring the history of the Aztec civilization. Their teacher pairs off all the classmates, pairing Woody and Nell together to avoid the kids forming cliques. Again, the two of them begin fighting and lashing out at one another in front of a statue of the ancient god, Tezcatlipoca, the god of sorcery. During their argument, the sculpture casts a spell on them. They go their separate ways, unaware of whatever happened. That night, Woody and Nell enjoy their evenings in their own ways, Nell reading and Woody dancing to hip-hop. They fall asleep, and the spell completes its final phase. The following day, Woody and Nell wake up in unfamiliar rooms to discover Cinema Recap here. We've got a little challenge that'll take 5 seconds, and it will change your life forever. You ready? All you gotta do is like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and you'll receive 10 free years of good luck. It's as simple as that. They've inexplicably swapped bodies. Immediately, the pair struggle to work with their new and strange genitals, with both struggling even to wear clothes properly. In Nell's body, Woody bumps into her overbearing mother, who demands she sit down and eat her oatmeal before leaving. In Woody's body, Nell eats the weird and unfamiliar food cooked by his mother. Woody leaves the food for Nell's dog, but her mother is so impressed with his eating speed that he gets another helping. Nell leaves Woody's house as Horse pulls up to give his friend a ride, but Nell can't even open the door to the car. Woody runs out of the house to see that they've already gone. Woody is forced to walk, and because everyone else sees him as Nell, he misses the bus. Nell arrives at school and immediately bumps into Woody, who demands to know what's happening. Unsure of what happened or why, they agree to figure out a way to get back into their original bodies. Nell cries in Woody's body, forcing Woody to take action to protect his reputation. They plan to ride out the rest of the day, hoping it will go back to normal tomorrow. In class, Woody is called on to deliver Nell's speech on The Greatest Living American, but completely messes up, claiming that the honor belongs to Jennifer Lopez. Nell is completely humiliated and confronts Woody after class. In the cafeteria, Nell is summoned to join Woody's classless friends, but is interrupted by Brianna, who invites Woody over for the night. Nell, horrified, turns her down and runs away. Brianna is humiliated by what she believes is Woody's public rejection of her love. Nell joins Horse in the workshop and suggests that she has no intention of going to Woody's practice. Horse says the coach won't be happy with that. In a moment of impulse, Nell calls Horse out for his foul language. Nell does her best to keep up with the athletes, but finds it impossible to do so. She falls, misses the ball, and is generally unhelpful to the team. holding them back from victory. The coach rips Nell for what he sees as Woody's complete failure and lack of effort. If he doesn't try, he'll be watching from the sidelines. Horse gives his friend a pep talk, but Nell can't take her eyes off his naked genitals. The following day, Woody wakes up to Nell's radio playing Elton John. Crappy music in his opinion. At school, Woody confronts Nell, having heard what happened at practice. To Nell, it's just a game, but Woody can't allow himself to be dropped from the team. Suddenly, they realize they're wearing wildly different outfits that go against their established reputations. When Nell refuses to stop wearing the preppy look, Woody pledges to take action into his own hands. Next day, Woody steps off the bus in high heels and a shorter-than-short skirt, transforming Nell into a so-called high-class hooker. Nell tries to protect her reputation, but Woody defies it. At lunch, he eats like a pig. To get her vengeance, Nell humiliates Woody at a drama audition, playing Shakespeare like an overly aroused teenager. In the men's room, Nell compliments another guy's penis to be friendly. Nell approaches Brianna, breaking up with her while in Woody's body. Woody rushes over to get answers, but Nell is unapologetic, telling him that he'll get over it. Angry, Woody tells Nell that tonight is the night she will lose her virginity, before driving off with a biker boy, Nicky. At Nicky's place, Woody drinks like crazy. Nicky, putting on the moves, unsuccessfully attempts to seduce the person he believes is Nell. Woody's mom checks in on Nell, who she believes is her son, giving him a pep talk and encouraging him to let things happen as they do. Whatever he does, they'll be proud. Woody convinces Nicky that they can't have sex on the couch, so Nicky suggests the bedroom. But Woody panics, realizing the confused sexuality of the situation. Woody tricks him and flees into the woods. The next day, Nell plays an Elton John song to Horse's confusion and frustration. Horse tells his friend that Nell and Nicky got it on the night before, terrifying Nell into thinking he went through with it. Nell cries in the stairway and is found by one of the teachers, confused why Woody is so emotional. When Nell confesses that she just found out she lost her virginity in a trailer park, the teacher quickly moves on to his next class. Woody arrives the next day to find people laughing at Nell. As she approaches her locker, Nell finds hurtful words smeared on her locker. Woody arrives to see how upset she is about the rumors. He confesses that he didn't actually lose Nell's virginity. Everybody's just spreading Nicky's lies. Seeing that she's still disappointed, Woody vows to confront Nicky and end the rumors. Woody searches the school for Nicky, eventually finding him in gym class. He publicly confronts Nicky, who continues to spread the lies. Woody tries to punch him, but Nicky effortlessly stops the punch. Nell punches Nicky in the face while in Woody's body, demanding that he tell everybody the truth. Nicky reluctantly apologizes for spreading lies. Now filled with adrenaline, Nell promises to fix things between Woody and Brianna. But Woody is pessimistic. Homecoming is next week, and they have no way of getting back to their bodies. They think back to when the body switch happened and realize that they fought right in front of the statue of the ancient god of sorcery. Nell and Woody return to the museum, confronting the statue. Nell tries to negotiate with the figure, hoping to get them returned to their bodies. But when they finish the negotiation, they find that they're still trapped in the wrong body. As Nell and Woody try to figure out their next steps, Woody realizes that Nell has all of his strength. He just has to show her how to use it. In return, she offers to help Woody study so he can pass Nell's upcoming Yale interview. Woody teaches Nell how to play football before the homecoming game, but she's far from a natural. Later that night, Nell helps Woody understand the meaning behind Shakespeare's work. That night, Nell has a conversation with Woody's father, who reveals that he used to hang out with Nell's dad, but Nell's mom disapproved of Woody's parents and put an end to it. The next day, Woody arrives at school to find one of Brianna's friends, Chanel, crying. She saw Horse making out with another girl in his car. To comfort her, Woody asks why Chanel goes out with guys like that when she knows these guys will break her heart. Chanel explains that she felt invisible until she dated Horse and became friends with Brianna. Woody comforts her, explaining that everybody's afraid of being invisible. Now, Chanel sees Nell as somebody who doesn't care what anybody thinks. She admires that. Chanel brings Woody, still in Nell's body, to Brianna's sleepover. Even though Brianna isn't initially all that excited, she comes around when Woody suggests that Nell is just looking to have fun now. In Horse's car, Nell is disappointed to see him checking out other women because Chanel isn't around. Horse explains that Woody was the faithful one, but he's the one who's out to have a good time. He takes Nell to a party. At the slumber party, Woody gets Nell's toes painted and listens as Brianna and the girls laugh at and mock him. Noticing that Nell has an all-natural vibe downstairs, the girls decide to take action and give her a Brazilian bikini wax. Woody suffers through the excruciating pain. At the party, Nell joins with the guys to get totally hammered. Woody visits Nell the following day, helping her cope with the overwhelming hangover. She thanks him for taking care of her, and it's clear that feelings are developing between them. Woody runs through football practice with Nell, but soon notices that Nell is aroused. She tries to convince Woody not to read anything into it. That night, Nell sneaks out of the house and visits Woody as he's trying to figure out what to wear for the interview the next day. Woody suggests that, while they're in the wrong bodies, they go to the homecoming dance together, but not as a date. Nell accepts the non-date date and slips out of the room, hurting herself in the process. At dinner, Nell's parents question their daughter's bizarre behavior of late. Woody tells her that she's planning to study with Woody again, but her mom isn't happy about Nell wasting her time on a boy she believes is a stupid loser. Woody is forced to listen as Nell's mother rips him and his family apart, blaming genetics for their many failures, something Nell once agreed with. Her husband says nothing, but clearly disagrees. Later, Nell's father gets the door and finds Woody asking if he can see Nell. Under his wife's orders, he says that Nell has gone back to school to do some extra studying. Nell asks how Mr. Bedworth has been and sends good wishes to his wife before kissing his cheek and leaving. Nell's father is clearly unnerved by the act. On a football field, Nell finds Woody angrily throwing footballs in the rain. Woody angrily explains that he's doing this because football is all that he's ever been, and he's not even that. Nell believes that he's more than just football, but Woody rejects that, believing that people like Nell, people who are intellectual and advantaged, don't understand him. Woody believes that his destiny is in jeopardy because of the swap. He shouldn't be attending a college interview. Nell tells him to let things fall into place, to let things happen, but Woody rejects them, repeating her mother's words. He's stupid, uneducated, plagued by bad genetics. He throws her the ball and leaves. Alone, Nell and Woody stare at one another's achievements and future plans. The next day, Woody, in Nell's body, arrives for her interview at Yale. When questioned about Nell's love of poetry and literature, Woody fumbles the question, messing up Nell's interview and robbing her of a chance. But before leaving, Woody starts talking about his passion for the modern-day poets, rappers. The dean is impressed and astonished by this young woman's passion for something she describes as a modern-day art form. That night, Nell sits on a bench during the biggest football game in Woody's sporting life. Woody arrives to see the game, settling in with his parents to watch. But it's clear the game isn't going so well. Nell manages to turn their fortunes around, bringing the game closer to victory and earning the praises of Woody's parents, something that profoundly affects Woody. With time running out, Nell manages to land the winning touchdown in the game's final seconds. After the game, Nell is approached by a college recruiter, impressed by the incredible performance, who offers him a future with his team. Nell and Woody both express how much they enjoyed the experience in the other's shoes, and that, if they had to be trapped in someone else's body, they'd be honored to be one another. At that moment, the statue reverses the spell, returning Woody and Nell to their original bodies. Woody is carried away by his team, and Nell walks in on him and Brianna kissing. Upset, she heads home alone. The next day, Woody tries to speak to Nell, but her mother refuses to let him in, believing him uneducated. Nell receives her acceptance letter from Yale, but she's not happy about it. On the night of the homecoming dance, Woody pretends to be interested in Brianna, but he's clearly moved on. Chanel and Horace are back together, but she finds a pair of panties in his car. Chanel convinces Horace to pull the vehicle over, pretending to want to have sex. But while Horace strips in public, Chanel steals his clothes and drives away, leaving him naked in the middle of nowhere. At home, Nell's father has a conversation with her about why she's not going to the dance. She confesses that she likes Woody and is heartbroken by him going back to Brianna. Her father admits that he thinks Woody is a good one and encourages Nell to follow her heart. Knowing she didn't have anything to wear, her father reveals that he already bought her a dress and shoes, which she loves. At the dance, Woody is officially crowned homecoming king and Brianna homecoming queen. As Brianna launches into her prepared speech, Woody stares blankly ahead, feeling no joy about the situation. As they're about to take their first dance as homecoming king and queen, Woody is distracted by Nell, making her grand arrival. He breaks away from Brianna and approaches Nell, citing Shakespeare and confessing his love for her. She returns the feeling, and they kiss. Brianna, outraged, tries to stop the kiss, but Woody leaves with Nell. Chanel accidentally rips off the back of Brianna's dress, exposing her bare flesh. Horace arrives, naked and concealed only by 2 balloons. Outside their houses, Nell reveals to Woody that she got into Yale thanks to him. They share another kiss. The next day, Nell tells her mother that she's taking a year's sabbatical before attending Yale. Against her mom's wishes, she heads outside, climbs into Woody's car, and the pair drive off into the distance together.